All right, next one, light heavyweight again. So we got OSP versus NZECHUKWU. What are we doing here, man? What's going on?
It's an interesting fight, man. It's interesting in the sense that I actually had thought OSP retired, but I guess he's gonna go ahead and finish that contract out. And
you can blame him. He's probably making a decent amount at this point.
I mean, yeah, he fought for a belt, you know.
Can I say something about the misconception that people have before we get into what is obviously going to happen in this fight?
Yeah,
people are kind of confused about the fact that OSP makes quite a lot of money in the UFC. I don't think they understand how UFC, the pay structure works.
Yeah,
like for those of you who don't understand it, usually the reason why guys like you know, like Andrei Arlovski, for example.
mm-hmm.
You know how much he gets paid to fight? I have any idea?
I know it's a grip. I know it's a lot.
He's the last one I checked. He's on like 400 to show, 400,000 to show.
Yeah,
Andrei Arlovski, and it's not because he's a draw. When you've been in around the UFC for that time, what people don't realize is the more fights you have, your pay incrementally goes up. So you always get paid. Yep. I think there's a certain percentage involved. So you can imagine for somebody like OSP or Arlovski, who's been around for God knows how many fights, they have incrementally been getting paid more as they get more contracts than they get. So that's what I thought that was just worth mentioning, because, you know, I don't usually watch fight breakdowns, but I did see part of the Guru's one last night. And he was like, I don't know what they're doing paying OSP that much money. And I'm like, bro, that's not, you really think they would, you know how the UFC are with money.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's the way companies work.
It's just how companies are. It's like loyalty and incentive pay is kind of what it is at a basic level. It's just the longer you're with a company, the more money you get.
Yeah, because like in reality, OSP could have left during, you know, maybe 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. He could have left and went to Bellator and been champ. Mm. Like he was that. You
probably think of him more highly than I do, but
no, I think he was that good. Like, and I'm comparing him to who they had at that time.
Oh yeah. You
know what I'm saying? I think him against Phil Davis over there back, 5 years ago would have been an interesting fight. Him against Ryan Bader would have been interesting.
You're definitely right about Bader. I'm quite a Davis fan. I quite like Phil Davis. I think he's all right.
I think that Phil Davis is...
he's not well beat. He's not like wow, but he's good.
But he was elite for a little bit, for a brief period of time. He was elite at what he did. Not well-rounded completely, but he's pretty good. So I think
that was dangerous.
Yeah, I think that there is definitely a loyalty bonus that he's getting in how much he gets paid, and I wouldn't blame him. If there's 2 fights on your contract,
you see, I'm
gonna get all my money.
Yeah, I'm getting mine. That's like that could potentially be anything up to $1 million if you can win for 2 or 3 fights. Because I think he's on like 180, 190 to show. That doubles if he wins. He somehow catches NZECHUKWU. Taking on.
If he gets him down,
yeah.
You think he can't get that Von Flue choke on ZECHUKWU's long neck? Yes, he can.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's gonna happen on Saturday night.
No, he's gonna get knocked out. But
do you know what the worst thing about this was? We've literally been building him up for what feels like about an hour, and then we're like, no, he's gonna get battered. Anyway, moving on. Do you know what I mean?
It was a legacy build-up.
Yeah, you're right though.
I don't know. Yeah, he's gonna get knocked out.
He's gonna get smacked. But the thing is, most people would get knocked out for 180, especially if you've been knocked out loads of times.
Sure.
What's one more?
Yeah, why not?
What's one more?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna know who my grandkids are in like 10 years anyway, so I might as well do it in a nicer chair and in a nicer retirement room. Do you know what I mean? Just saying.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Have that lobster fed in through the straw instead of the usual, whatever they do. Might as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's. I think this is going to be a. I don't know. I don't know about starching because NZECHUKWU is, you know, he's decent. He's a decent fighter. And he's big. He's not really a KO artist,
big.
but I think he's gonna catch OSP at some point. Just
Yeah.
I can see it up against the cage maybe,
That's exactly
and him
what
just
I'm thinking.
volume knocking him out, or like a standing TKO, where OSP is just kind of, you know, out of it but not going down. I could see that.
I'm picturing it in my mind already. It's gonna be sad, but
I'm not that invested.
that's the way the game
I
goes.
like OSP, but like, I will say before we head to the next one, minus 500. I'm not sure about that shit.
Yeah, that's steep.
I'm not sure about that. That's a big fuck
is
you to
very,
OSP.
very steep.
But like, I would have said minus 3. Maybe they might have tempted. You
Yeah.
know, they might have caught the rat with the cheese with that one. But at minus 500, I'm not going near that.